The villains in the Disney animated canon are highly regarded and popular. However, plenty of them also have henchmen who help do their bidding. These can be just as memorable and provide fun turns of their own. While many are just as evil and conniving as their employer, there are henchmen who are a bit kinder and even occasionally willing to help the heroes. So I'm going to count down my top Disney animated henchmen who've made an impression with their roles in aiding or even affecting the villains' plots. The Huntsman in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Like I said, not all of the henchmen on this countdown are pure evil. While he does work for the evil queen, he is shown to have his own conscience and even initially reacts with shock to the queen's plan. One could make the argument that there wouldn't even be much of a movie without the Huntsman, and he plays an important role in telling Snow White to hide in the forest. Without his help, she would not have stumbled upon the animals, who then take her to the dwarf's house. He is willing to defy the queen's orders and gives her a pig's heart rather than Snow White's. This all makes the Huntsman a unique henchman within Disney, as he has no interest in doing evil deeds just because he's ordered to. We never find out what happened to the Huntsman afterwards, but one assumes he turned out safe. Maybe he wound up working for the prince following the events of the movie. For a character who does not have much screen time in Snow White, he deserves more recognition for his heroism and willingness to not follow the queen's sick plot. Flotsam and Jetsam in The Little Mermaid. Ursula was who ultimately convinced Ariel to give up her voice to go on land, but it was these two eels who helped get the ball rolling to bring her over to the Sea Witch. Always together, they clearly take great joy in helping Ursula fulfill her evil plot. Their role in sabotaging Ariel and Eric's kiss in the Kiss the Girl number also shows how conniving they are. However, there's something strangely sweet about how much Ursula sees them as extremely helpful and not just mere lackeys. When they're killed in the climax, she actually mourns them, and one can sense the history they have with each other. Patty Edwards also did a terrific job of giving Flotsam and Jetsam the appropriate voice, and, fun fact, she also provided the voice of Gozer in Ghostbusters. Among the Disney henchmen on the list, these eels were definitely among the most efficient. Sir Hiss in Robin Hood. In Disney's all-animal version of this famous legend, Prince John is portrayed as bratty and prone to fits, so he needed someone to keep him somewhat in check. And Sir Hiss manages to fit the bill, and several times he's even shown as smarter than the spoiled prince. They have a funny dynamic, especially when Hiss tries to warn John that Robin Hood is near, which of course falls on deaf ears until it's too late. There are several points when Hiss tires of John's outbursts and foolishness, and these provide their own humorous moments. Terry Thomas voiced Sir Hiss, with the artist even making him look similar to the actor. It's funny that if Prince John just listened to his number 2 more often, he would actually be able to stop Robin Hood. But that's what he gets for being the phony King of England. Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed in The Lion King. There's an interesting power dynamic between Scar and the hyenas underneath him. The filmmakers could have easily made them mindless followers, but they're shown as having an understanding of the political situation, and they're only willing to help Scar because of their treatment in the animal kingdom. They relate to each other as outcasts, but Scar also underestimates the hyenas. Each of these 3 hyenas have their own personalities, with Shenzi being largely the brains, Banzai being ruthless in his own way, and Ed the most prone to fits of laughter. They even concoct their own plan when Simba runs away, even if it does not go as planned. Their vicious nature is shown on multiple occasions, and they're also the rare henchmen to turn on their master, showing them not to be trifled with, and don't like being treated as simply pawns in Scar's plot to rule the kingdom. Horace and Jasper in 101 Dalmatians. On the surface, they seem like the usual bumbling criminals. However, they bring a lot more to the table, and even Cruella de Vil underestimates them. After all, they're the ones who steal the Dalmatian puppies, and they do it by being cunning. You certainly would not want them barging into your home. When tasked with killing the puppies, they're willing to try all sorts of methods. And while the animals do defeat them, Horace and Jasper try their best to come out on top. There are times when Jasper even tires of Cruella's hysterics and shoots his mouth off at her. The filmmakers could have just made them comic foils, but they proved dangerous in their own right, adding to the urgency of the animals to save the puppies. Smee in Peter Pan. Part of the joy of Captain Hook as a villain comes from his interactions with his faithful first mate, Smee. There are several hilarious scenes between the two, and the film managed to show how willing he is to help Hook in his continuing battle against Peter. Frequent Disney voice actor Bill Thompson gave him the right level of goofy charm. Despite him taking part in Hook's evil deeds, it's difficult to hate Smee, as Thompson portrays him with such an innocence. Ollie Johnson also did some of his finest animation on Smee, as the physical comedy and facial reactions are on point. Hook may have been in charge of the operation, but he would not be the captain he is without the help of Smee, even if he does not always succeed. But he tries his best and understands his captain's desires and fears. Fidget in The Great Mouse Detective. From the second he first jumps out to the audience, Fidget is someone they won't soon forget. He's an important part of Ratigan's plan and does most of the heavy lifting to make sure it succeeds. After all, who's the one out there kidnapping inventors and stealing toy pieces? Certainly not Ratigan. While he makes some mistakes along the way, Fidget also attempts to make sure Basil does not stop him, and even lures him to Ratigan's lair on purpose at one point. Candy Candido, whose deep voice was heard in several Disney animated films before The Great Mouse Detective, was the right actor to provide Fidget's memorable voice. The animators also made good use of his unique design, making him a legitimate threat for the heroes. LeFou in Beauty and the Beast. There are henchmen who unquestionably support and adore everything about their villain, and LeFou definitely falls into that category. Throughout the entirety of the movie, he gets behind almost every idea Gaston has and is happy to work with him in order to win Belle's hand. He even starts performing Gaston's big number, where he boasts about how amazing he is. The two serve as an entertaining pair, with LeFou's comical antics providing some of the funniest moments in the film. One of his most memorable bits is when he hides in a snowman near Belle's home for an extended period. Realistically, he should have gotten frostbite and died, but I don't tend to watch animated Disney films for realism. LeFou is largely a goofy character, but as seen with the mob song and the attack on the Beast's castle, he's still an extremely evil character, and it's satisfying to watch him get his just desserts at the end. Kronk in The Emperor's New Groove. This is definitely one of the most lovable Disney henchmen. Yes, he's working for a power-hungry former emperor's advisor who wants to murder said emperor, but he's also so passionate about cooking, and his reaction to a lot of Yzma's actions are more befuddlement than anything. Casting Patrick Warburton was a stroke of genius, with him giving Kronk such a joyful personality. Warburton took words that were already funny on the page and gave them an extra hilarity. He's also important to the plot, with the guilt he feels about tossing a llama-transformed Emperor Cusco into a waterfall. His chemistry with his shoulder angels has its own cute little arc too. Kronk made an excellent fit for the wacky tone of The Emperor's New Groove, and he plays off Eartha Kitt as Yzma really well. The movie is already funny when showing Cusco and Pacha's storyline, but it's at its funniest when Yzma and Kronk are on screen. He also makes great spinach puffs. What other henchman can claim that? And my number one Disney animated henchman is Iago in Aladdin. The original plan for Jafar's parrot companion was to make him a calm British type. However, that went away when directors Ron Clements and John Musker decided to cast Gilbert Gottfried in the role. The result was hilarious evil sidekick for Jafar. It was so inspired, initially introducing him as a typical squawking parrot, and then revealing his real personality, brilliantly portrayed by Gottfried. Robin Williams gets most of the attention for voicing the genie, but Gottfried as Iago brought a similar energy to the movie. His frequent mocking tone provides numerous funny moments. However, he's not just there to crack jokes. He provides ideas for Jafar, which the Grand Vizier even listens to, showing the mutual respect they do have for each other, and they are both equally wicked. While Jafar's intent on marrying Princess Jasmine, Iago is focused more on embarrassing the Sultan. Every moment Iago's on screen provides laughs, and he's a notable obstacle for Aladdin. Will Finn also deserves credit for his excellent animation, which tried to incorporate a few of Gottfried's facial features into that bird. The direct-to-video sequels and television series would later make him into a heroic character, and he does fine in that role too. However, as Jafar's closest ally, he made for more than villainous character, one of his own scheming mind. When I remember Gilbert Gottfried, Iago is admittedly who I immediately think of. The character would not be the same without the unique vocal quality he brought to the role. Thank you for the laughs, Mr. Gottfried. And now let me know in the comments who your favorite Disney animated henchmen are, and I'll see you next time.